Who do you reckon's the most active YouTuber for slinging it about? Chris MD?
Chris MD.
No, but
he's notorious. I think he might have a problem. But there are certain people out there, George Clark, who like are in love with Sabrina Carpenter.
I thought he was gay.
What are you on about?
Just does a lot of things, and obviously a lot of his humour.
You wee in your own mouth.
Okay.
How do you know that the universe wasn't just incepted on Thursday?
You know when we talk about like deep subjects like this, something that's just like nonsense.
Everything that anyone says to you that isn't "I like eating chippy chips" is a load of nonsense.
I'm gonna get angry now.
Go on then.
The way you described me, like I'm this fucking little dweeby nerd. Like what the fuck?
Nothing feels better than putting out content that I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Nothing feels worse than putting out content that I'm not proud of.
Yeah.
Currently not proud of Wafflin, and I think that's what's a bit painful.
Have you ever noticed how like not red your lips are?
Oh, mate,
Have you not noticed?
I cannot believe you just said that.
What?
I was thinking that on the tube when I was speaking
What?
to
That
you.
my lips aren't okay.
got
Everyone look at me right now.
Have you got makeup on?
Have I got red lips?
You have makeup on today, don't
I
you?
don't have makeup on.
On what? Holly?
On what? Yeah.
On
On
my-
Alhamdulillah.
On my life, for the first time in my life, I thought that
On my life in my life.
on the tube on the way here.
What? Why didn't you say anything like Theo
scared,
does?
mate.
Well, you were speaking to me, so it wasn't appropriate.
No,
to
he's
just
too
interrupt.
Do you
scared.
notice how you do that, right? When you're speaking to someone, you're actually low-key analysing their face the whole time. And like, oh, look at that there. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. I'm so glad I don't have that.
Have you noticed what's different about my face? today?
You look even more potato smiley today.
No, I've got a line on my head.
You've got a lot.
Can you see
you've
it?
got, oh, yeah, you've got.
Can you see
you've got
that?
a halo.
Yeah. What's that about?
Wear a headband, sweatband on the bicycle.
Why do you wear that? by
Yeah,
the way? Because,
isn't that to keep the hair?
Yeah, like it's like Alessandro Nesta or Maldini.
Alessandro Nesta?
Yeah, or
Even
like
Alessandro.
Yeah. No.
Alessandro.
Well,
or,
why does man wear sweatband? I wonder why.
Well, because surely.
Keep the sweat out of his eyes.
Yeah,
It's not a hairband, is it? A hairband is different to a sweatband. You should know.
But there must be a reason as to
Oh
why
my
you-
god, you fucking dumb.
Whoa!
You're asking me why do I wear a sweatband? What do you think sweatbands are for?
No,
what are they designed for? To keep sweat out of your face.
I think there's something deeper going on there. I
Yeah.
think you're trying to cover your face up.
face
Your
is-
hair.
Where were you last week? Like, why didn't you turn up?
Yeah, I actually don't
I
know.
was in Portugal
Were you? What, on a jolly? Just sort of like,
on a holiday.
we had to get Ollie Edwards in instead.
By the way, I'm half an hour into the episode. Because I care about, when you guys film without me.
We
'Cause
fucking we did watch the Chip and A.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched it.
You didn't, you're a liar.
But what did you think of Ollie Edwards? Wait, by the way, because like he obviously, those that haven't watched it, go and watch it because like it was actually a banger.
Yeah, it was.
Really good
Well,
conversation.
half an hour in, but it is.
And Edwards, obviously, I could tell he's a little bit scared. He's terrified.
He did not
was.
come across as nervous
And he
at all.
didn't come across it at all.
Not at all.
And I thought, you know what?
Yeah.
That is a man that has been putting himself out of his comfort zone regularly.
Mate,
we should all do it.
100%. I thought he spoke really well. And he fit in so well with you guys.
Almost too well.
Funny how that is.
Do you know what's nuts? Like, obviously, he's in our main friendship group from school, right? The original 6. Now, obviously, Theo, you were with Summit Harrier.
You keep bringing this up. Like, what are you on about?
No, but you and Jakey, Jakey Shamrock.
Actually, you know what? I didn't get angry in the pod when I was listening to it this morning. But I'm going to get angry now.
Go on then,
The way you
Jakey Shan.
described me, like I'm this fucking little dweeby nerd. As if like I was in a shell in the corner every day. Like, I can't say it. I can't speak how I speak. Like, what the fuck?
Wasn't there to defend himself as well? It was out of order. I actually
Mate, you
thought
were
about
acting
that.
as if I was this little gimp in the corner, like cucking over everyone.
Whoa.
No one said that.
No, it was just that was you, John Doe.
He was cool. He's fucking
John
wham.
Doe was cool. Is he wham now?
Yeah, but I wasn't there to defend myself, and I like to defend myself.
Yeah.
I was the footballer. I was in charge of all the games, so I had the power, and that's why you cried.
When did I cry, Theo?
Oh, you remember it,
When did I cry?
I think I know this story.
What, has Theo made me cry before?
mate? You cried. You stormed off in a half like.
I mean, I've done that many times, but I said I don't know if it was as a result of your actions, Theo.
What
Yeah.
year was that?
I decided to humble you. I thought year 8, I reckon.
Year 8, what did you do?
You got
What
humbled,
were we
buddy.
playing?
You
Get
thought
your potato smiley in the
thought
bucket?
You thought you're all the Wellard was coming big man today, didn't you? Like, oh, I'm gonna treat the nerd that is Theo. I'm gonna storm.
We
in
were a
there.
nerd.
And that's what he thought is his head.
Ah, right.
And I said, no, you can't play. My ball, my rules.
What, I asked to play football? Oh, wait, was it?
I don't
this
think
was
you
in
asked
year
that.
8. I think this was in year 8 on the
don't think-
playground.
I don't think you did
And I
ask.
asked to play football and you wouldn't let me because you felt inferior
No,
to me.
first of all, even teams.
Even teams, what
Yeah,
do you
so
mean?
you would have made it uneven.
What, because I'm too good?
What, so you wouldn't even put him on the bench?
Mate, you don't have a bench in the school playground. Number 2, you didn't ask. You just bowled in there like you thought you owned it.
Yeah, to be fair, that sounds like when you barged in front of Harrison Keefe to get that pizza slice. We all know how that ended.
One time it's a chicken burger, next is a pizza slice. Like your story changes every time, mate.
No, I thought it was a pizza
made
slice.
up.
You told me it was a chicken burger.
It was a fucking chicken burger. It was, and look, I was a victim. Oh. Nah, I did have a bit of a victim complex
bet
at
you-
school. I don't have it anymore though.
Yeah, you do. You remember when they brought in the fingerprint thing for the food?
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet you were the type of guy to be like, nah, cash only. Cash only. I don't want the deep state taking
not
my
tracking my
fingerprint.
purchases.
I had a packed lunch.
Oh, he did, because every time he opened it in the common
Chicken
room,
Kiev sarnies.
mate, it smelled like Mate, it was fucked. But he basically, whatever he had for dinner the night before, he would just put in a sandwich.
What are you laughing at? He's having leftovers. Are you discriminating right now?
No.
Sounds like you are.
How's this been flipped on me?
Yeah, wait, no, he was just being
He was-
nice.
yeah, no, he was being
Theo,
horrible.
Theo, you've
No, he's
taken
being
1 week
horrible.
off and you've forgotten that
Come
this
back a
guy's...
nasty man.
I used to have
To be
5
fair,
sausage rolls.
that is what people were saying in the comments. Like, oh, Luke Martin seems way more out of his shell now that Potato Smiley's not here. What do you think that was due to? Like, and this was last week's episode, everyone. Why did you feel more like you could be yourself in front of Edwards and not what's his name? Theo.
Maybe it's just the constant attacks.
Do you reckon?
Oh, don't act all this like.
I'll be real. It did feel more like a conversation between friends rather than a battlefield.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really horrible and rude.
Is it?
You've
Rather than
upset
the
him now.
one-upmanship, it felt like we were part of something.
We have conversations all the time.
No, we do. But I do notice, Theo, that you egg me on to attack Luke. And actually, last episode, I didn't attack him once.
It's true.
You know
So-
why though? It's because he attacks us constantly off camera. He's an evil bastard, and you know it.
What's
you know.
What's
you
the
know
last
you
attack
must
I made?
attack him.
And you can't blame me for looking at your hair because it's an impulse.
Every time you talk to me, mate, you only look at my hair.
I can't help it.
That's a subliminal attack, which
Mate,
only I can see.
I'm not being funny. If you had to look at that, you would look at it all the time as well.
I do.
Oh,
no.
God.
Oh, no.
Wait, sorry, I'm just looking at the comments on the last episode. Wait, do I read these out? Because they're a bit harsh.
Well, I've already read them.
Really?
Yeah, they weren't
Okay,
harsh at all.
viewers and listeners, if you...
Viewer discretion is advised.
By the way, listen to us on Spotify. If you can't always watch us on YouTube, like it's a great way to consume our content. It's not like the brand deals pay more on audio platforms and it would benefit us. That's not why I'm saying that.
Actually, we don't get any. So
We
it's
don't get
okay.
any brand
But
deals on
subscribe,
this
'cause
podcast.
we'd like to hit 1 million subscribers.
Right, so this is one of the comments. It goes, finally got rid of that albino homosexual that usually sits on the left. Brilliant decision, lads. Keep up the great work.
First of all, what I don't get what is bad about that. Which one of those words they're trying to use as an insult?
No, I think they're just trying to be factual.
Yeah, I think it was descriptive.
Like,
So you said you didn't want to read them out because
monkey
they're
see
so.
what monkey do. Wait, what? Wait, what?
You just called me a.
No, I'm just saying he's just saying what. But how does that? Because that would cut me deep personally. If they said that Dumbo-looking fucking freak
Wait,
on
so
the
if
right,
I called you a homosexual, that would cut you deep.
no,
No, not the insults.
as in if they were offending me by saying I'm glad that they've got rid of him.
Oh no, I'll take that on my chest and just keep running off.
I always thought that about. I remember going through the fellas' comments once. I was watching a video,
Yeah.
and I think it was one that Proddy wasn't involved in. He seemingly got a little bit of hate as well, which I don't understand. I feel like some people do just target people.
Well, obviously, when you two decided not to show up one week and it was just me on my own, everyone said it was the best episode yet. How did that make you
Yeah.
feel?
To be fair, I was like, that sounds about right. No, because people want a fresh vibe.
Yeah.
And I think like when you do introduce someone or maybe take someone out, it can generate that. And I thought what was good is that we had like really in-depth conversations. And I think the audience did enjoy that, which is
Do you know-
great to see.
Our audience are growing up with us, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're at a point now where they kind of appreciate deeper conversations a bit more. I think we're also at that point now where if we had the conversation about when back in the day when we spoke about bringing your girlfriend home and it's a dustbin called Angelica or something.
What?
Do you know, that's like an iconic one.
Okay, yeah, go on.
And we found it absolutely hilarious. I think now if we spoke about something like that, it wouldn't hit the same because we're 29. I think we're moving into this age where life is still funny, but we talk about things on a bit more of a serious level now.
I don't know about that. I think
Yeah,
you're wrong.
I think,
I think
like,
you're wrong.
according to this email submission, you're chatting out your arse.
Yeah,
It
right.
goes this. Is this still the case for Weller? Never forget when Morton and Theo accidentally exposed themselves for not being able to make a girl come and tried gaslighting Joe into seeming crazy for it. think it's about time they should apologise to their Lord and Saviour, Joe.
Wait, what? You were obviously the cummeister who could make any.
Don't call him that.
You laughing at?
Cummeister.
Don't call him the.
No, we don't laugh about silly little names. Like you've literally 5 seconds ago said you were more mature than.
That's
laughing
not what
about
I was
silly-
saying. I was saying our conversation, I feel, has developed into a more mature
Yeah,
space.
so owe me an
generally.
apology then.
For what? For saying that
Remember when you ridiculed me for
Yeah,
saying,
you did.
"Oh yeah, like this is just a factual bit of information I'm going to share with you."
No.
You were like, "Ha what a loser!
what was-
I can't make anyone come."
What was that information that you shared? Because it wasn't just I made a girl come.
He's never in his life.
No.
What, 3 times?
You can count on one hand how many times.
What? No, this is inappropriate.
This is really inappropriate.
This is what I'm saying.
I
like-
actually believed you from the start. I was actually always on your side. I was just playing devil's advocate at the time.
Yeah.
No,
Because
you
the
fucking
Cummeister
didn't.
is my Lord and Saviour.
Take notes, Luke.
I like. Do you still stand by that? That happened.
I said what I said. I mean every word that comes out of this gob of
No, but-
mine.
That's
Monkey
actually
say,
not
monkey
true
do.
because you forget things that you say. We've already
I do.
established when you spoke about, when you said and knock people out,
Yeah.
but you like flat out denied that ever happened.
you
And
know
then we
what-
showed you the receipts, and you're like, "Oh, it did."
Do you know what? That is the one thing that does get me a lot, actually.
What?
You know. Obviously, there's that famous study out there which is all about the interviewer made these people watch this crash with like this blue car or whatnot, took their statement, then 6 months later took their statement again.
Yeah.
And like the majority of them had changed their story of what
Yeah.
they saw. So
Do you reckon-
your mind changes the narrative in your head on memories. So like I will say I haven't said something on say pitch side or whatever. I'm adamant I'd never said that. They'll just pull up the tapes. And I
Shit.
did.
So, do you think that all our memories, because right, life is basically about making memories. Do you think those memories that we're actually making are just imagination?
Well,
Or
some of them might-
mostly.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
And a lot of them will be based off like photographs.
photographs? Really?
Why did I say that? Photographs.
No, that is true. And this is interesting because we have Alex O'Connor on the pod later today.
Oh yeah.
And
So
I
he's
was-
the atheist guy,
yeah,
right?
I was listening to one of his videos while I was training in the gym, right? And he was talking about a theory about the sort of like conception of the universe. So like, and it's the like every Thursday universe. It's like the universe began on Thursday.
Why is that?
Any given Thursday, because there's no saying. You talk about these memories just being your imagination. How do you know that the universe wasn't just incepted on last Thursday, and everything that you think has happened way back when isn't just your imagination?
No, I got proof.
You don't know.
I do.
How?
On my phone.
What?
I got a photo from last Wednesday.
Yeah, but it's just that's coded into the universe.
No, I think some of this, when we talk about like deep subjects like this, some of it's just like fucking nonsense. Like it is though. Like, do you think the
yeah,
universe? No, no.
everything that anyone says to you that isn't "I like eating chippy chips" is a load of nonsense.
Okay,
mate.
let me ask you this then:
What?
Was the universe created last Thursday?
I can't confirm nor
No,
deny.
no. Look,
can't.
Don't sit on
You
the fence,
can't.
buddy.
No, bro. The thing is, like,
It's to your.
try. This is why we all need to move to Saudi Arabia. No, joke.
Why'd you say that?
I don't know. No, I'm just joking.
No, but I do feel like there is certain subjects that are just like irrelevant and pointless. Like it's all well and good discussing deep things and like different mindsets and different discussions.
It's
But
philosophical.
yeah, I know it's philosophical, but sometimes it's just plain stupid. Like it didn't start on Thursday. Like it just didn't.
Okay, well, when Matey Boy comes on next week, I want you to give this energy to him.
So does he believe?
No. But it's a theory that you could debate him.
Yeah, I know I could debate him. I'll just debate it and say like it didn't happen.
Yeah, but what is your reason other than it didn't happen?
I actually sometimes think, I do honestly sometimes think, so many people want so many answers to so many different things, and ultimately, it's okay to just say didn't happen, and there's no, and you don't actually need to provide any more because you're sitting in that chair.
Is he?
Oh fuck! You're sitting in that
is
chair.
he?
You agree with me.
Okay.
I'll happy like play devil's advocate and go along with the joke and like have like a discussion about it. But ultimately, you do agree with me.
What do I agree with?
That the universe wasn't invented on Thursday.
Well, I don't know.
That's my point.
I actually don't know. Like, I actually don't.
No, but this is my point. You're deep in everything. Like you do know.
No.
I assume so, But I can't tell you the things. There's certain things that we go are absolute fact, and it's like you actually don't know.
Okay, fine. If we're going to play that, then you could do it with everything.
No,
Yeah.
of course.
Like, is the wall behind you?
Don't know.
Like,
I perceive it as yes, but we don't know for sure. And I think that's quite a scary, vulnerable place to be for a lot of people, like saying, I don't know for sure. People like certainty. They like to go, I know for certain that is a fact, because then they have a structure at which they can base their existence on. Whereas going, oh no, I actually don't have that figured out. Scary for people.
okay, does the Wafflin podcast exist?
Maybe.
Like, this is fucking dumb now.
But
Like-
everything is technically a belief. Joe believes that wall is there behind him right now.
Yeah, it's like you believe in Jeebus.
You can't say that. You got
No,
to
we
be
actually got an email about that, about how I'm very polite and respectful towards like the Islam faith. But then regarding Christianity, I will call the Lord Savior Jeebus. And I am not saying that from a point of attack.
Why do you say it?
I say it because it's fun and jovial.
Speech
and
impediment.
life is not really serious. So, changing a letter in someone's name, I think we should welcome that. I'm not doing it with an intent of offence. I'm doing it for a laugh.
What happens if your name was Tigger?
Tigger? What, I'm changing one of the letters? Wait, what are you getting at, Malfoy?
You can't just say that. You can't just say I've changed a letter.
Okay. B.O.
Do you see what I mean here?
You've got B.O.
You can't say, oh, I've changed the letter.
But then who says you can't?
What? Who
Because
says you
someone
can?
decides to take offence to something. What's their offence based on? Are our offences, just like our pleasures, learnt things? Do you get born and instantly go, I'm offended by a letter being a name with a changed letter? No, you learn that's disrespectful. But does it actually offend you? How much of what we perceive, brother, is just learnt? And we're not actually... I know we spoke about this with Ollie, but you weren't here. It's like...
But I do
our
think...
beliefs are all learnt, really.
But I agree that is probably true. But you have to, at some point in your life, you have to just accept that some things are.
Yeah, no, you play the game. That's what it's called. Play
But
the game.
believing that this table is in front of me.
Yeah, let's roll with it.
It's not just playing the game. It's just like...
But you actually worded that correct. You believe that this table is in front of you.
I know this table is in front of me.
But do you?
Yeah.
But what does that prove? How do you know that you doing that isn't just some...
Do you believe the table's in front of you?
I believe the table's in front of me.
Well, ChatGPT has other ideas, boys.
Oh,
the table's
no.
not there, is it?
Because apparently someone, right, and this only took 7 seconds to process. Someone asked ChatGPT to rate Wafflin. So here's a well-informed breakdown of each Wafflin host rated out of 10.
Also, you said it took 7 seconds.
Yep.
You know that's a lie. So the AI is doing this thing where like it gives you like 5 or so seconds, say 7 seconds of this scenario where it looks like it's looking, but actually just does it instantly. But because as humans, if it did it instantly, you'd be like, what the hell? That's too quick. So it looks like it's turning its clock.
Oh, so it's like fabricated thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, so each Wafflin host rated out of 10 based on their contribution to the podcast's success.
Oh,
Public
this is
reception and on-screen chemistry.
Okay, here we go.
I am not the highest rated,
good. Wow.
Whoa.
which has got to be a load of bollocks to me. Right, here we go. Joe Weller, 8.5 out of 10. Strengths. As the main anchor, Joe brings high-energy humour, bold storytelling, and a willingness to dive into personal topics. This drive fuels much of the show's momentum and keeps listeners engaged. Public perception. The podcast averages 4.7 out of 5 on Apple Podcasts with 86 ratings.
86 ratings.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's just, reviews. While not solely Joe's effort, his presence is central to that success. Critique. Some fans say episodes feel chore-like for him, though that may reflect burnout from weekly output. That's why we want to change it to seasons, so that we can go and do and create memories to then talk about. And then, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
We did do seasons previously. As
We
viewers know.
should also get like feedback from fans. What would your thoughts be on that?
Yeah, there's actually a segment below that I'm going to actually say after this.
I would argue that I think your rating should be higher and you're more instrumental, only because people forget that the success of Wafflin is partly down to the number of subscribers that it has.
That is also true. Your commercial standpoint is
without So without your second channel, we'd be on 300,000, 350,000. Is that true?
If it's not just my channel, it's like, come on now, it's
What?
It's the Weller podcast featuring his mate jokes.
Sexy cock.
Right, next one it goes.
Wait.
Theo,
No, just quickly. Do you other people allowed to talk?
What?
Do you think the podcast would have been a success if none of us had any following? Let's say we started waffling just in your bedroom. No.
Nope.
You don't believe so?
I think it would have gained traction.
How it started at first, because it had viral things like Love Island, like your cousin. I think with the way the YouTube algorithm works now, we would have, how Wafflin used to be at the beginning, would have made it go viral.
It would have gained traction.
But doing it as we do now, no, that's why we don't see any growth, I believe. Genuinely, like if we still did Wafflin in the way that we used to be, that was filming, right, this segment is going to be one email submission regarding one topic. That's the title of the video, and it's 10 to 15 minutes in length. Those videos would all get 500k. I think it would have been in the betterment of the growth. But the way the game works, we have to go get put.
But
in
also,
our place
you have to
by the
remember though,
studios.
like I think as a podcast that's been around for what 6 years now, is it?
Yeah,
That's it to still be, I guess, relevant. We are, right?
Yeah. It's pretty.
somewhat.
It is pretty
but
crazy.
It's quite tough to like have that longevity with a podcast, and even though we don't see necessarily the same follower growth, you know, our audio's going up. Is it?
Yeah, no, it's decent. It's like 80 to 100k.
We're still gaining like good traction on the show, and I think that's a real positive. We should take.
Our core
100%.
audience are so loyal.
Theo, to be fair, this actually goes in alignment with what ChatGPT says about you. It's rated you 9 out of 10. Disgusting.
0.5
Disgusting.
below it.
Strength. Theo offers grounded, thoughtful contributions and a consistently humble presence. Right. It just proves that AI isn't always right.
What do you mean?
Humble.
I'm well humble.
He's a humble guy.
Of course I am.
No, none of us here are humble.
Whoa.
Maybe him a little bit. Luke is a little bit humble.
I'd say the least humble.
No. Luke is level-headed.
Do you don't think I'm humble?
No.
Really?
I think it's a good thing.
You don't think I'm humble?
And what makes you think he's not humble?
Because he is able to portray such great humour via his non-humble satirical nature. Do you understand me?
No.
Satirical means like
I know what
taking the piss. So you're a piss-takingly arrogant. And that because
Arrogant?
No, because that's
No,
your humour sometimes.
jokingly.
Yeah.
Jokingly being like,
But like, if you know me as a person.
yes.
Yeah, but you know how you say like, if
But
we're
as in like,
you would never catch a non-business class flight.
So I would.
no, but as in like,
When you
it's humble's not being humble is not an attack on a bad thing. It's like just knowing your worth, knowing what you bring to the table.
like, do you think Weller's humble?
No,
Yeah, I do, yeah.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
very
you're
humble.
lying.
No, I do. You are humble. You are humble, but you're grounded as well.
Humble isn't a negative.
No,
word, not
but you
humble.
can be humble, but you can also enjoy the fruit of your looms. Do you know what I mean?
I think you meant the fruits of your labour.
Yeah, Fruit of
No,
Loom.
fruit of your
is-
loins.
Wait, Fruit of Loom is the t-shirt creating brand. Like, as in the manufacturer of
But
the t-shirts.
the point is still valid. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can still be humble and enjoy the fruit of your labour.
True. And it also goes, he often balances the chaos with clarity and thoughtful perspective.
Wait,
I think
is that me?
I think he's got it wrong. They think that Theo is Luke. The fact that even ChatGPT has got your name wrong is hilarious.
Oh, wait, what? No. What?
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, maybe it's in on the joke. Maybe it's so
Maybe.
smart.
Wait,
Public reception. A Reddit comment praised him directly. Theo, underrated Sigma. This is definitely meant to be Luke. Never once seen him flex about his success and doesn't mind about being the butt of the joke.
It's about me.
No.
If he was the butt of the joke, mate, he cries.
Impact. His calm, level-headed style
definitely
acts
me.
as a yin to Joe's yang, bringing chemistry and fan-favoured authenticity.
It's me.
Wait, what? And then Luke Martin's 8 out of 10. Strengths, known for his quick wit.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Wait, funny impersonations. So the one thing he doesn't do. Stevie G, and cultural commentary, particularly on relationships and lifestyle. Public reception. Fans often highlight his impersonations. Like Luke gets bullied into doing impressions again as standout comedic bits. Critique. He generally serves as the foil, less dominant, but adds colour and comedy. Works well as a complementary voice. Well, that does sound like it is explaining you, but I just think ChatGPT's chatting out his arse.
Maybe it's got a bit confused.
I feel like it hasn't really hit the nail on the head with you.
How would you describe me?
I think
I
you're.
heard how you described me at school on the latest podcast. So
Cool guy, lovely guy, needs to maybe wear nicer outfits.
I think
Stay.
your comedic timing and I think a lot of the comedy you bring to the podcast is very good.
I'd say I'm quite caring.
Yeah,
I look out for my friends above myself.
good guy.
You're a very good guy. But then they also have tagged something,
Oh no.
which is an Instagram video that says POV, average Theo, in brackets, Teddy Potato Smiley, Baker story on Wafflin. Let's have a look at this, Chicos. Oh no, what's this going to be? Hang about.
And basically, guys, I've got a crazy story. I promise you it's crazy. You can't laugh at me though, because this is a serious story. I want to tell you, Joe. I'm going to tell you as well, Andy. Go on, Brad. So basically, I went to the co-op, right, last week, and I got a pizza, like, pizza, like cheese tomato pizza. And I put it in the oven at home. No, and it's actually got really hot. Like, really hot. I actually can't.
Oh god.
No, it got really hot, like...
Why is he making it? That's not how I
Why do you
sound.
sound like that?
Why does everyone, when they're doing a
I hope that becomes a trend, by the way.
No.
What? That would be sick. If
Why is it like? Why do they put on this like dodgy voice when they're impressioning me?
impression?
I've got a really manly voice.
Does that upset you then?
No, why'd that upset me? People come up to me all the time asking me like for rock paper scissors games and stuff like that.
No, the voice he's putting on.
No, I'm used to that now. I think Ollie made a very good point in the last podcast.
What did he say?
You guys were discussing like if Ollie would want to be a YouTuber and stuff like that, and like what makes a YouTuber, and he was saying like having thick skinned and being resilient.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't have that and you let things like that upset you, you're never going to make it on the algorithm.
Do you think that actually helped
What?
you boys with our like friendship group? You know how like I'd say we were always like a sort of typical boys friendship group.
Quite like abusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like fairly abusive and
Yeah.
fairly relentless, where like, you know, it was kind of like if you became like the brunt of a joke, like everyone was in on that, and like you'd have to just live with that for the duration that it sort of was still a
We
thing.
have seen a few times, I think, like people snapping over it though. Like you have seen like people go too far.
Who?
I can't name. I don't know.
Oh, like when people create a fake Facebook profile of your mum.
I don't remember that. But like there are moments like where like it does go too far and like people do snap, but it's on the rare occasion. I think like our friendship group's very thick skinned.
Much more so when we were younger. But do you think that helped you coming into YouTube, knowing that like, you know, you both of you at some point in your careers would have read your first hate comment?
Yeah.
Do you feel that growing up in that sort of friendship group helped you or prepared you for that?
Yes.
You do feel.
Simple as.
Do you remember your first hate comment?
Mate, there's loads.
No,
I hate the way his lips move. His face
lips
is so
move.
punchable. There was just like things like that, and I'm
His
like,
lips aren't red.
his lips are so big. Why is his lips? They were like the first ones.
Why though?
Because he must have big lips
And a punchable face.
and a punchable face.
Yeah,
Nothing's changed.
Yeah, that is.
Do you think someone can have a punchable face, or do
Yep.
you think it's their like attitude?
No, I'd say I've got quite. When I like sit and edit my videos, I'm like, I look quite punchable. No, I just do. Do you think?
Yeah, but it also is
Yeah.
But it's to do with your haircut and everything like that. Like I get told I'm a balding fuck every day.
Yeah, but is that better than being punchable?
Well, I think when I sometimes look back at myself on camera, I think, what the fuck is that doing on your head? And it's sort of, you know, that when the comments are real, it does hurt a little bit more.
So they do get to you now.
No, they don't. I don't give a shit about them. But I think you're right. Like Luke asked you, do you remember your first hate comment? And you can't remember it. Oh, he could remember it.
I just recited it word for word.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
What about yours? What was your first one?
Not a clue. I get told to kill myself every day. So it's like you read it, but you're not reading it. You just look at it.
Don't
absorb it.
You're in the football Twitter space, which is, you know, notoriously horrible.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So you do have to be thick-skinned.
Yeah, you probably do. Yeah, you do have to be thick-skinned. Yeah.
So true, wank stains. Got a couple things. Now, firstly, someone's asking what's happening to the Wafflin podcast Instagram. Obviously, we know all of you listening and watching follow this account.
What do you mean? What's happening?
And I know Theo and Luke are very active on this platform.
Luke more than myself, actually.
Yeah, we've actually got a couple of the stories that they've posted off their own back. Theo's one here. It goes,
What is that?
Hey,
I didn't see it.
you.
Did you not see it?
hey you. Yeah, you. Stop being sad. Cheer up. Life is okay.
What is that text? Has everyone done on an Android?
No, but like, why do you post that to the Wafflin account and not your own? Because that is actually quite a spiritual message.
Hey, you. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Be happy, not sad.
Why?
I think ultimately you have to spread positivity, and I think if you...
So that was you.
Yes, that was entirely me.
Let's look at what the one that Luke posted
I
recently.
need to
So
know
it
the
goes,
login, actually.
it's him looking
Love it.
very, very cool. I'm independent. I'm loved. I'm a water baby.
What does that mean?
It was giving birth in water.
Take it up with the doctor if you don't like it. Chats.
Do you know why I think people love these stories?
Why?
Because they can imagine you sat at home on the
Whoa.
toilet. Like,
Wait, it's not. Wait, but it's Luke.
No, they are so blatantly you.
you need to be more disguised.
It's tonight.
But they obviously make people laugh because that is like just quintessentially your humour.
Is it?
Yeah.
But it's not me doing it. So it must be you. But fair play for like copying.
No, be honest. Like, are you sat at home like actually laughing to
No,
yourself?
'cause whenever this guy Luke posts a story, I'm like, he should post that on the Instagram of Wafflin. So I message him and be like, "Oh, bro, come up with something and just post it to the Wafflin
Well, I
Insta."
did-
And then he does.
I did see on Instagram you two recently working out in a very sweaty scenario.
Yeah, we did a HYROX
Yeah.
type thing. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Ollie Edwards, right? He was on last week. Beep, 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 beep. He set us a little workout. 30 minutes it took us. 400 calories burnt. Absolute
What was the workout?
zinger. Just like
Wait.
500 meters run, 250 meters ski erg, 500-meter run, freaking sled.
Did you love it?
Yeah,
You
it was
feel
really
the
good.
feel the
Yeah.
endorphins.
That's the best I feel after working out.
This is what I'm telling you, mate.
30-minute workout as well.
Telling you, HYROX is the way forward.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do from now.
Yes, and we're gonna do one together.
Yeah, and I also, I'll do strength stuff as well.
No,
like-
but you do strength in a HYROX plan.
No, I know. As in, like, yeah.
Squats, deadlifts,
Yeah. I'll do all of that.
bench press,
Yeah, I want to.
hybrid athlete, hybrid training. You're not just training to look good, you're training
Yeah.
to feel good.
Yeah,
and that's the most important thing.
I-
Resistance training extends life. Cardiovascular training extends life. Mix them together.
Get a bigger cock.
What?
Illuminati.
Were you meant to say extends life on both of them? Oh, okay. That was.
I'm glad
Oi.
I'm glad you felt the endorphins.
No,
man.
and we're going to train together. I actually, like, after that workout, felt fucked in a good way.
Yeah.
But, like, I hadn't had that sort of feeling after a workout. I'd argue ever.
Doesn't it show how fucking tedious and boring just regular weight training is?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I now it inspires me to like work out by constantly doing. What's the
Something.
word? You don't need to sit and wait for 4 or 5 minutes between
don't.
each set. Like,
You don't.
keep it moving. Go from one exercise that works certain muscles to doing something that you know,
Yeah.
superset things. I think
Building
yeah.
fatigue resistance, supersetting's huge, and I mean you can do it together. It's a group scenario as well. You're not
that
training on your
inspired
own.
us as well. Like we're having those moments that probably both me and Luke would want to give up.
Yeah.
But because we're doing it together. I
Push
almost,
each other.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Do you know what I noticed? I just come back from the FPL trip, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed one big difference is obviously where we're all getting a little bit older, the priorities have changed. Whereas on previous trips, it was like drinking, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of drinking involved, but it wasn't until after we'd spent the entire day exercising. Like the entire day, like 3 hours of paddle, gym session, swim,
Yeah, sick.
bike. Everyone's priorities have completely changed the older they get.
I'm doing dry June.
Well, it's an interesting month to do it in.
Yeah, well, I just fancied it. I'm not drinking this month.
Yeah.
And I'm documenting it all.
That
I
is
see
good.
how I feel. But I like upping my game on nutrition. So just making sure I'm getting high quality food. And to be honest, I haven't drunk now for 2.5 weeks.
How do you feel?
Good.
Yeah.
And like the weekends, I thought the weekends were going to be really boring. I think that's the main reason I drink.
You're
Because
bored.
it gets to the weekend and you're like, what else is there to do?
We'll just
And-
hang out.
No,
Yeah.
and that is, but I feel like my brain has never gone there. It's always been like, well, go to the pub, get fucked up. And
Really?
I don't think that's a bad thing. I know people get annoyed when we sort of like,
Chat shit about it.
But
say
don't get,
it's-
we
yeah.
do our fair share of drinking.
yeah. And I'm just to confirm, I'm not gonna cut it out forever. But I think I'm hoping this month kind of inspires me to cut it down and reel it back because, like you say, I actually think there's quite a lot to do from like that comes from the wholesome stuff. And like I went to the gym on a Sunday. Went on like a couples thing. It was well nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done that if I was hanging. I'd be like, fuck that.
But yeah, there are so many alternatives on. You can still go on a night out and drink 0% beer and feel included.
No, but that's freaking stupid.
The people who say like, oh, 0% beer is so shit, what's the point? It's completely not. You still have the inclusive feeling of holding a pint.
Yeah, it's like a decaf coffee.
Yeah, but I did a lot of drinking on this FPL trip, I won't lie. And I'm still feeling the
Who was at this
effects
FPL
Yep.
trip?
now. 9 of us.
Who?
Me, Arthur, Reeve, Joel, Ethan.
JMX FIFA.
Yeah.
Wow.
Joel, Ethan, Randy, Harry, and Reeve. And Chris. I've already said Reeve. Yeah,
Class.
but like, I'm still fit, mate. I'm exhausted from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
From the drinking.
off the back of Barcelona. Same thing, bro.
But I had to
Not
get my
mental.
bike ride and running on the Sunday, hungover,
Ooh.
and then I ride today. I was just like, and I was up in Scotland yesterday, so it's like, it destroys you for so long. Like, fuck, I'm turning 30 next year.
That is getting old for you though. Like I notice it as well. It gets to Monday, I'm like half as productive as I should be. I can't be asked for a proper gym session. And I am kind of at the point where I think, is it worth it doing it regularly?
Well, I'm drinking again this weekend, so you just have to come part and parcel with it. But I was meant to do a swim today as well, but I'm not doing it. I'm only doing a bike ride. I only do a single session, man.
Freaking mental
I know.
geezer.
But do you think that the kind of time that you lose from drinking is worth it for the sort of fun that you gain while
I think it is and it isn't. Like, this trip was genuinely generational. So it's like, I said to myself, I'm not going to just not drink. Like, we're on a fucking yacht in the middle of the ocean in the Algarve.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to have a fucking really good time and like jump off it and do my jet skis. I don't care if I'm feeling shit the next day. So you have to give and take with certain scenarios, I think.
Claro, sí. Estoy de acuerdo. I've just been in Barcelona.
That
Yeah.
is
What
true.
were you doing? Where have you been?
So, mate, it was actually nuts. Like, a festival.
We did a
Mate,
festival?
Actually hilarious. So, like, it's called Primavera Sound Festival. Revolut invited me out there and we're like, do a little vlog, sponsor the vid, go for it, G. Yeah. It was so good to go off the back of like some really intense edited piece like the Uganda video to now doing like a raw vlog. And my challenge,
Fantastic, by the way.
thank you.
Yeah, that was a banger vid.
My challenge for myself was like, I'm going to make the most raw video I've ever made. And pretty much like it went exactly like that. It was actually a fun video. It gave me energy. I did get pretty fucked up though.
And you carried on vlogging?
Yeah, for
Sick.
the whole thing, but that was on the final day. The most interesting part about this festival, though, is it was a very LGBTQ plus festival, and I had no idea. So there's me and the geezer that invented the bubbly. I met up with him because he was working out there, and it was just us two boys. And I was wearing a vest, and he had his sunglasses on his head, and we looked very,
They thought you were a gay couple.
we looked like we were part of something, and I just it was a bit interesting.
But was the energy there? Could you feel the vibe?
Yeah, it was good. But what was funny is like all the acts were like Sabrina Carpenter, Charlie XCX, and then like Central C. It was just so random.
Wait,
But,
you
like,
saw Central on a bench in real life?
I saw Cinch. Yeah. It was
Did you
quality.
go, my guy, my guy?
I was saying my guy the whole time. You have to see the vlog, but yeah.
Joe, Cinch, it's me, Joe.
It was jokes. He just wears his trousers so low.
Yeah, I don't know
And
how
I'm
they
like,
don't fall
It
down.
just makes me like think about like why do gangsters do this?
Is he a gangster?
I'd say Central C's a bit of a gangster.
Did
I'd
you go
say,
to private school?
I don't know, my
Did he?
G. But like this whole like gangster rapper thing to do, right? It's like, why do you wear your trousers like where your arse is out? If there's any gangsters listening to this podcast right now, let us know because surely like that's really inconvenient. Imagine you need to like run for a tennis ball or something.
Yeah, all the
can't
tennis balls you need to
Run
catch
for
on
a tennis
stage.
ball.
Yeah, let's say you need to run for something. And,
How do they
like,
not fall down?
That's the question I'm asking the whole time.
Isn't that why they do that weird walk, like where their legs are like? Do you know what I mean?
Crab walk.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like where they.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. So,
That's a thing that I've actually seen quite a lot though. Like now amongst the younger
the
generation.
arse is out.
Yeah. Like what the fuck is that about?
What do you
Well,
mean? What,
obviously-
girls or boys?
No, boys.
Well,
like,
obviously-
What the lot?
Sabrina Carpenter as well.
Yeah, no, I'm now a fan. I get it now. Do you ever get it right? You go to see an act live and you didn't know them before and now you get it.
yeah, but why do you
I
get
still don't get it.
Because like I had it when I saw Stormzy. I was like, I get you feel the aura, you understand it, and now the songs hit different. Like, I heard you back together. If that's true.
Espresso.
Yeah, it's a freaking banger. And there's a few songs that I don't know, I just get it.
But do you fancy her?
No, I wouldn't say it's that. I was really far away, actually, in like the little Revolut balcony.
Oh, you're on a balcony. But there are certain people out there, George Clark, who like are in love with Sabrina Carpenter.
I thought he was gay. Is he actually not, or is it just banter? Because he's always posting like gay things, like as though, and he's like, is that just part of a joke?
What? What are you on about? What's a gay
George
thing?
Clark, no, wait.
What are you on about?
Oh, it must just be the sense of humour then, because I genuinely thought. Wait, no,
Sorry, what does a gay thing mean?
bro.
What do you mean?
What's posting gay things?
No, as in like, I don't know, like he had playing cards with all these like half-naked men on, and being like, oh, I love my playing cards, and then like,
I've never seen that in my life.
No, he did post that like yesterday, I think.
yeah, and no, he just does a lot of things, and obviously a lot of his humour.
You wee in your own mouth.
Okay. But a lot of his humour is around that. Yeah, but people probably think that I am, right? But like, I just genuinely thought that it wasn't just a joke. I thought that was just maybe,
Might be
yeah,
a-
he was, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just
He
saying
might
that
be
that's
one
what I
of
thought. Do you know for a fact? Because actually, I'm filming. He's my tag team partner tomorrow. So I wanted
What,
to.
you need to know if I can make. What you?
No, so
We
like,
need to know what?
I don't need to
That
know
could be
anything.
touchy.
First of all, if he was gay, we're going to act differently.
No. I'm just saying it's quite cool that he's my tag team partner tomorrow. We're playing in a paddle tournament. And guess what? It's a fucking Washo Bashen brand deal.
I know. I was meant to be there.
Why are you not?
I'm busy.
Cool.
Good chat.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Don't know, but I'm busy. I checked my calendar.
Sorry, can we get to the bottom of this?
Also, yeah, he's very straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a fucking player.
Does he get about?
Oh, he shags.
No, does he though? Wait, does he?
Oh, he shags all right.
No, but does he?
Yeah, he does. I've seen it.
Really?
You've seen him shag.
Yep.
Who do you reckon's the most active YouTuber for slinging it about? Chris MD?
Chris MD.
No, but
He's notorious. I think he might have a problem.
really?
Oh, a shagging problem.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you might have to connect.
No. I know. I do observe him, and I'm like, does he get about? I don't know.
Chris MD, shagger. Will N.E., shagger.
Will and he is.
Yeah, big shagger.
Really?
Why?
Who else?
Why are you so surprised? Like these single men.
No. I'm not surprised.
You are looking
Yeah,
at.
you seemed it.
What? No, I'm just like, I don't know.
There was like an element of shock in your reaction.
But you're looking down on these guys.
I'm not looking down on anyone.
I have you know, Will's 10 times cooler than you, buddy.
Whoa,
Maybe you could learn a thing or two from.
I don't need to. What? Okay.
Style icon.
Okay.
Coffee connoisseur.
Yes.
You don't agree with any of it.
What is next? Who else? Reeve plays FIFA?
Well, he's not a shagger. No, he's in a lovely.
He's engaged.
He's engaged.
Okay. Who else?
Was it?
Is there no one else single?
Yeah, there's loads of singletons.
Who? Cricket's playing.
But anyways, yeah, loads of shaggers around.
Unreal then! Should we get something up on our iPad?
Yeah, you love that little iPad now, don't you?
I do love it. It makes me feel part of something. And like the leader.
Well, it is Wafflin by Joe Weller.
It actually just is.
Could bring it back.
Like, should we
By
actually,
Joe
just
Weller.
for the culture, should we this week just change the title on all platforms to Wafflin by Joe Weller and see the outrage that breaks out? No?
I don't think
Well,
people would actually care.
Yeah, would outrage break
If no
out?
one, well, if there's no outrage,
They might
perfect.
enjoy
Then
it.
it stays forever.
But why would it stay?
It's like an unwritten rule. It's like Adidas no longer have the text on their logo, but we all know it's Adidas. Do you get me? It's just the stripes now. So now,
Hasn't it always been like that?
What,
No.
so Wafflin by Joe Weller is just the Adidas sign with Adidas written, and then Wafflin is just take away the Adidas.
yeah.
logo.
It's just, you know how the new Adidas logo is just
Yeah.
the stripes.
Probably not going to happen, but if you really want it to happen, if that's what you want, we can call it Wafflin by Joe Weller.
Nah, we don't have to do that. Have you donated to my Uganda wrestling fund to try and get them an ambulance?
Not yet, no.
Oh, not yet. So you're planning on it?
I am planning to.
How much were you going to donate?
Donated to Sanard's Just Given yesterday.
What about
Yeah,
the
not what we're talking about.
I don't know. How much have you raised so far?
Why is
like
that relevant?
3,700,
How much do you need for the ambulance?
20 grand.
It's going well.
I put in £1,000.
You should have put it at the start of the video.
That's what I said.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, at the end, it's the flow of the story. It is where it, you know.
I know. That's still a really nice thing you're doing. I will
The story,
contribute.
the safety of these young.
Luke, are you going to contribute and donate? Because I
By
think
the way,
it'd be an amazing cause.
you shouldn't like be sad about only raising £3 grand. That's a lot of money.
No, I know, but what I it's technically 2,000 because I put in 1,000. So like, it would be
That's real
good.
great.
He was hoping to overraise so he could take it back.
No. I would just thought like, these guys are putting their whole entire actual safety on the line, and they get millions of views, so they're entertaining the world. But then if they actually hurt themselves, there's nothing that they
Can I ask, what
there's
do you
no
actually
safety.
buy? Do you just like buy a van?
No, so it's like an ambulance. I actually went to visit it. It's a second-hand ambulance, but it's the license to use it on the road that costs quite a lot. Costs like over 10K.
So I've never seen like an ambulance for sale. That's such like a unique thing.
Yeah, no, they have private ambulances out there. So
What's
certain
the other
things.
10K for?
Pardon?
What's the other 10K?
The actual car.
The vehicle.
So you have to pay for the vehicle and then pay for the license?
Yeah, the road
That's
license
so
to
much
actually
money.
use it. Yeah, no, it is. It's ridiculous.
But
But it's because, like, obviously, it's an ambulance, isn't it?
Has
So-
someone just got this ambulance for sale in Uganda and they just can't shift it?
Well, no, not they can't shift it. It's just it is for sale.
Yeah, probably like
So-
an ambulance company.
But like the
Oh, it's
emergency
second-hand.
care as well, like to get them there, because like these guys, like in the video, you see some geezer lands on his neck, mate. You see, he just had to deal with it.
But can I ask?
It's just like it might just be broken.
I
forever.
don't know if this is like stupid or not, but like, so the ambulance is required to take a patient to hospital.
Yeah.
But surely you then need a paramedic to go along with
Well,
it.
yeah, that's what I say. It's the services, so like someone to actually like operate.
So
it.
there'll be a paramedic there like every day, essentially, like full-time
Well,
paramedic.
for the actual events, so they will be able to like have the fund. The funds is to raise to buy the vehicle and also to employ the people to be the
Yeah,
emergency
that's what I
care
was gonna say.
to like take them there and also address them. So it's kind of like it would be amazing if we could, but
Oh, 100%.
I understand
Well,
times are tough.
We can have the link.
Yeah,
in
put the link in the
description of
description.
this video.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
That's all right, mate.
Well, let's move on to something else that I know is going to ruffle a lot of feathers. Are you ready for this, everyone? In my ass, from the ceiling to the floor. I don't know.
Such a weird.
Theo uploaded
Oh, this
a Real Madrid video from Dubai.
How do you?
We filmed it obviously when we were in Dubai without Luke.
watch it.
No, I haven't watched it yet, but I am going to. I promise you. I'm
You
going
what? Didn't
to.
watch it out of spite?
I tell you what. The only videos I've been watching
Are mine.
are the Alex O'Connor videos since he's coming on the pod. So
Top boy.
I've been like sort of prepping myself for that.
Well,
but
did you like
I
it?
will watch it.
I thought it was good. I thought it flowed nicely. I mean, yeah, it was a fun little
You
chilled
said it was
watch.
very
You could put it on. Yeah, you just whack it on and start getting ready, like brushing your teeth. It's sort of one of them ones. Like I like those videos. I actually find videos more fun to watch when they're easier to
Yeah,
watch. Like
yeah.
my Uganda video, you kind of got to watch the whole time and
You got to
pay
sit down and watch
attention.
it. Yeah.
And like more maybe one that you put on the TV. But I like the ones that like when you're getting ready in the morning. That's why I think like Mashtag does really well because you can just have it on.
Yeah.
And you don't need to really overly try to pay
While you're
attention.
eating or doing whatever.
Yeah, and I think Theo's video, his Real Madrid one, was like that. Obviously, we went to Real Madrid World, which
essentially
is
a vlog, isn't it?
a theme park, yeah. And
Oh,
we all
what's that-
just
what's that?
munched each other's box.
What's that Real Madrid world?
Mate, you got to find out.
Apparently, the reason it was quite empty, but apparently it's because in Dubai people don't go out in the day.
Yeah, but then also like when we were leaving in the afternoon, it wasn't getting busy at all.
Oh, okay.
I'm
It
not
was
sure
also Eid Mubarak as well.
Eid Mubarak.
Mubarak, yeah, it was Eid at the same time. So not a lot of people were out during the day.
I was
Yeah.
surprised like places were actually open.
Yeah.
Other than food places, I think that's fairly normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange. I think that is that a heat thing or an Islam thing?
Heat.
It is heat.
Yeah, but like you don't get that in like Thailand. Because when I was in Pakistan,
Yeah.
that was also a very common thing of like people weren't really out in the day, but you go out a lot later, and like
I think
people would be out eating.
Dubai
like,
gets like 45 degrees. Like Thailand doesn't
No,
get 45. And they're normally water parks in Thailand, not theme parks.
true, but like I don't know. I just didn't know if it was like a cultural thing because of the religion or if
Dunno,
it was
ma-
purely because of
maybe.
the temperature of the
Yeah.
location.
Who knows?
Yeah.
You said you were gonna ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, no, that was just, I was buying myself some time. But I mean, we can actually ruffle some feathers if we want.
Yeah, fuck it.
Wafflin episode breaks. It says here, I've noticed several people complaining about recent episodes, saying that Joe looks like he doesn't even want to be there. That the recent episodes just seem a bit forced, which I also do kind of agree with, and that waffling is dying and will end soon.
Dying.
I have to admit it, sometimes it does feel as though they're just forcing an episode out every Sunday because they have to. Could be due to contract reasons, I don't know. Anyways, my question is, would people prefer seasons of waffling, sort of how it used to be, with breaks in between each season, so when the next season of waffling arrives, they will actually have more engaging stuff to talk about?
Was this a Reddit post?
That was a Reddit post. And there is actually a contrasting statement that goes
go
like
on.
this. No breaks allowed. I've seen people saying that the Wafflin crew has to go on a break and come back with more motivation and stories. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. If they go on a break and stop uploading consistently, say goodbye to your views, which has already taken a huge hit from their last break. What they need is a new guest 4 out of 5 weeks consistently. First off, all the other podcasts are easily able to meet this demand. No reason why these famous British YouTubers shouldn't be able to find a guest, even if the guest does not have clout. Not only is this achievable and not asking much, for this can be really help Wafflin. Pretty good England.
Pretty good England.
Yeah, I was going along with it because it was
No, he
bad
wasn't.
English. Yeah, no,
I think both points have valid arguments because ultimately, right, Wafflin previously has worked better in seasonal uploads.
Yeah.
And if we were to do that, we'd provide a end of season vlog, which would be quite cool. It's like a special every season. But also at the same time, like the second guy has a very valid point of like, fuck me, it's 1 hour a week.
No, I think from a workload perspective, the argument is absolutely valid. It's 1 hour a week. We can turn up.
It's the quality, you're saying?
It's the quality perspective of if you sit here and you see, oh, you know, Joe feels, it feels like Joe's forcing it. Or you're sitting at home thinking, it feels like they're kind of really like
inauthentic,
like wringing the rag here. I think that's the content reflecting that. That's what we're passionate about. We're passionate about turning up and creating something really good that resonates with you guys at home, and also something that we enjoy sitting and doing, and something that we're proud of. And I think that's probably where we would lean to seasons, because we feel that it would give you the ability to go travel, come back with your pissing in the mouth stories, and you know, you to do whatever, me to do whatever, and come up with that sort of fresh content where we can also really plan ahead. And we want to bring good guests to this podcast, and we've also said that we're not keen on just bringing the same people that you see sort of passed around every single podcast like a prostitute.
But I think the Edwards one was a prime example. Even though the views weren't great, I think the quality of the episode was brilliant, and the people who watched it got a lot out of it. I think that's what, you know, is what we want to prioritize.
Yeah, I do definitely find from myself that, like, I think having new conversations will, like, give, like, as much as, like, we are great mates, like, we have exhausted our combo a little bit, I feel. Like, so unless something new comes up that's, like, we want to talk about, like, we sort of know everything about each other.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? So it's like, I think that was obviously refreshing probably when you had AB and Chip on. When we had Edwards on, it was like talking, it was a new conversation. And I think, like, whether we need to get more guests on, I know people say, like, obviously the guest episodes aren't as good. That's why I thought having the idea of getting our schoolmates on, or people that we already know, could be good, because it's not this awkward, like, new person.
Yeah.
It's someone we already know. But I definitely think there's room for new stimuli, because I don't know, I do find myself just like, mate, I've actually got nothing to say. Like, actually, it's not this hard work. Oh my God, woe is me when I'm having to come and film Wafflin. It's more of like, mate, I ain't got much to say to you boys, because we've spoken about it all.
Yeah.
It's also,
do you know what I mean?
But that's where I think Wafflin is so different. Like, Backside works because there's 4 people, and we're never going to miss Backside, but it's 4. But we also have segments. Whereas I don't think, like, the segments on that show would work on this show at the same time.
What segments do you have on that?
Gaz gobbles.
What's the what?
He gives us
Suck each other's
He gives
cock.
us 3 storylines,
Yeah.
and we got to ask questions and figure out which is the fake one.
Okay.
Reeve will give us a this or that. And Lewis used to have a fact he'd bring in every day, which is hilarious. But he's now just started reading his journal
He's got
Okay.
from like 5 years ago, which is very like.
Well, yeah,
Open.
maybe segments.
But then also, like, you want to stay authentic to yourself. Like, does segments work on the show? Yeah, we have our listener questions. We should do more of them. But, like, you have to figure out what would work for us that the audience would enjoy as well.
Yeah, I think time like absence makes the heart grow fonder sort of thing. I think, like, we all just need time seasonally, periodically, to go and do our thing. Because I start going, I'm missing out on certain things I want to be doing. You maybe probably feel it as well. I don't know. The audience aren't wrong though. Like, when you sense that there is probably a little bit of, like, they're forcing it.
Yeah, like,
sometimes, like, we just are. Let's be real.
The audience can read us like a book. I think that's always been the
Yeah.
case. And like we said from the beginning, this is not a hard job. It's not like we turn up here and we're like,
that's not what we're saying.
no, hour. That was the toughest hour anyone's ever had to endure.
No.
It's like, it's fucking easy turning up here. But it's that feeling, it's that internal feeling of, imagine you going to work every day and being like, I feel like I'm just not, I'm not producing what I should be producing.
Yeah, nothing feels better than putting out content that I'm proud of. Nothing feels worse than putting out content that I'm not proud of.
Yeah.
Currently not proud of Wafflin, and I think that's what's a bit painful.
Yeah, because I think it's something that I definitely like deeply care about it. For everything that it's done for me and the memories that I've got from it. And I guess like the amount of things we've been able to do because of it together and the time we spent together, which we probably wouldn't have if we didn't have Wafflin from 2019. There's no way we would have like continued the friendship in like this context to sort of this level that we have.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know about that.
You moved away. It's all natural.
Well, you wouldn't see people as much as you would.
Yeah, we wouldn't talk as much, so the friendship wouldn't be the same. And I think it's just making sure we can maximize that.
Factual. Well, let us know what you think in the comments, please, because we are going to now get an email submission. Hi, boys. Love the show. Interested to hear your take on my situation. I've been with this girl for 4 years now. Things have been good for the most part, but throughout our relationship, it seems to have always fallen on me to pay for everything. Dates, food, holidays. She's always told me she'd pay me back or she'll get the next one, which she never does. And it's never bothered me massively as we've both been students and I've always been better with my money. So I seem to have more than she did most of the time. However, she's recently received a large sum of money, 6 figures from her family, as compensation of a workplace accident that happened to one of her family members. She's been talking about what she's going to do with the money, like buy a new car, buy new furniture and other luxury items. I can't help but feel a little bit weird about it all when she's owed me so much money for so long, and I don't know how to bring this up or whether it's worth even saying anything, as I know none of that money is mine. Thoughts, boys?
It's an awkward one, isn't it? Because he can't ask for any of that. Like,
Right.
He shouldn't see it as if, like, if he's willing to pay for her to go on holiday, that's his own decision. Like, if she's, unless she said, I'll pay you back, which I don't think she has. Do you know what I mean? Like, she should want to, I think he needs to look at her and say she should want to take them on holiday, maybe, as like a nice thing to do. But it's up to her what she does with her money. It's her money.
Yeah, but it's always complicated in relationships, isn't it? I think especially...
He sorry to interrupt you, Luke. He's seeing them separately.
Yeah, like that.
Instead of you're meant to be together. So it shouldn't matter really if... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I don't really care spending money on Ruth.
Yeah.
It doesn't really bother me. It's not something that I actively think, okay, you owe me like £20.
Unless he thinks they're going to break up. Like, if he thinks they're going to be together forever, like I'm sure at some point in his life, she's going to do exactly the same.
What's your take on it? Because I guess like the girls that you've encountered over the years have probably always known that you've had a lot of money. Or at least that's been the...
Sometimes.
Or that's been the perception.
I've been a brokey.
But like, how do you
this guy's a student, so it's way different.
No, I know. But I think like it's all individual, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where I actually feel like that's something I would struggle with. Like, if you meet a girl, are you instantly like, every time we meet up, I'll pay for this.
Not at the start.
Yeah, well, I think like where I've been in a fortunate position, like I would just go, well, I mean, I'll just pay for it because it is just like, well,
Otherwise, you can't go.
well, yeah, either you can't go or it's just like a bit peak. Also, I don't know, I don't have like that personal attachment to like that's my money, so therefore it's kind of just like, oh, it's a little pool of money that we can use to have a fun experience. So let me just use that rather than your pile that might not be as big. Like, well, let's go from the more bigger pile.
Yeah.
Whereas if your pile was bigger, maybe you'd feel like you want to use your pile. I don't know.
But also, you want to go and enjoy these experiences with someone you love. So it shouldn't matter, really.
Well, yeah, but you may not love them from the beginning, isn't it? When it's early days.
No, early days, I think you should be like...
I've never gone
cautious.
50-50 or any of that bollocks.
Yeah, no, but it's different though. Like a lot of, I say, the majority of relationships do go 50-50 on everything.
Yeah,
because
there's
they
also
just have to.
there's not a problem with that.
But this situation, like they're both students, so it is a bit different. Like they're both struggling a bit more.
Do you reckon he would now, if he was like, well, go and get in the kitchen then, if I'm paying for everything? Do you reckon, because that's a step only for that. Yeah, because like, if he may think, that she's assuming the stereotype because he's the man he should pay. If he then turned around and was like, followed in and did the equivalent, the stereotype back to her, what if he...
But that's such a stupid thing to do. Like, just because you earn more money, why should the other person then do all the cleaning? Like, you should do your
not
fair
all the
share.
cleaning. No, I'm just saying if she's assuming the stereotype why the man should always pay, does he now have the right to be like, well, I'm going to assume the stereotype back to you and be like, well, you should... I mean, don't phrase it as just get back in the kitchen, but it's like, if I'm pulling my weight this way, maybe if you don't want to pay me back, maybe
it's tough, isn't it? Because she might not be doing that. She might just can't afford it. But then also,
she's just received a larger sum of money.
Has now, whereas before she hadn't.
Is that a dangerous way to go into a relationship where you make it kind of transactional? Because I always think,
for sure.
Where it's like, oh well, I cleaned the kitchen and then hoovered the house, therefore you should clean the bathrooms. Like, it should be a team effort where like you both actively think, oh, we'll do this. Let's sort this. Oh, okay, Ruth has cleaned the bathrooms. I should probably help out with something. Let me fucking
do the bins.
Yeah, do like something where I feel like this, where you make it transactional. And I know you're not saying that either. It's just a hypothetical, but where you say, well, if I'm paying for everything, then you should have to do this. You should clean the house or whatever. It's such a dangerous way to have a relationship, because then everything is like give, take.
Yeah, you just hope that like people will have the desire to want to contribute to the overall, parts of the relationship without it being, I've done this, so you should do that.
I think that's what he should be more concerned about, is that if she's got all this pot of money, do whatever. It's her money. You can't argue with that. She should do whatever it wants with it. But from how their previous year or two have been, whereas he's been the more generous one or whatever, I think he has a right to, in his head, maybe be like, well, if she's not willing to like spend a bit on me after she's got so much money, she's only buying it for herself, and not being like, oh, I would like to do this with you. It doesn't have to be buying him a gift. I'd like to go away with you. I'd like to do this adventure with you or whatever. Maybe that's what he should be a little bit more like.
Possibly.
You get what I'm saying now?
I get
where like
saying.
You want to be with someone that wants to like
do things with you,
yeah, and like is happy to pay for things and happy to, and it doesn't become.
Agreed.
There you go. Let us know your views and thoughts in the commentinios. If you want to get your questions in, or thoughts, or experiences to Malfoy, he's going to now give you the email that you can send those into.
theboys@wafflin.co.
Oh,
he's done it.
He's fucking done it.
My
G-string
guy. Listen to us on any audio platform that you can listen to your podcast onto. Rate us a like star, like
star.
A like star. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.